Welcome back to Yates American B244. In this episode we're going to remove and evaluate the drivetrain motor. Okay, let's see if we can get that drivetrain motor out and see if it works. Like everything else, this is all dried up. Well, that's interesting. This is unscrewing. This bolt's sheared off. Okay, I ended up sliding it all the way this way as far as I could, and now it looks like maybe it will come out. I'm pretty sure that this whole setup, the way this is designed, was a total afterthought on Yates American's part. This is like really poorly designed. I can't say that I like the sound of that. I'd pretty much say that belt is shot. I have this drivetrain motor benched. So it is a peerless motor. It's 3/4 horsepower and it's only 850 RPM. And I can tell from marks here and here that I won't be the first to have it open. I can also tell by the fact that there are different fasteners here and here that someone else has had this thing open. I do not like the sound that this thing's making. So I'm hoping that that's just a mud dauber nest inside. And I still don't know the story behind this Reeves drive. So this cover somebody fabricated out of a piece of copper tubing. And it looks like maybe a set screw stripped out at some point and they put in a couple of other set screws. There's a set screw over here. And it looks like there's a keyway down in there. While I appreciate the idea of Zerk fittings for the bearings, this motor is in the most inaccessible place that I doubt it's ever been greased. And physically, this 3/4 horsepower motor is almost the same size as the 7.5 horsepower motor that drives the cutter head. Alright, I can tell from the scarring on this Reeves drive that someone had a hard time getting it off in the past. Look at that. See, I'm wondering if these holes right here, we could use those to make some sort of a jack between the Reeves drive and the casing to push that Reeves drive off. Okay, it'll be interesting to see how far I can get with this. I've got a little piece of tubing here and just a 3/8 inch bolt. Well, I'm having an unexpected outcome. The Reeves drive is not coming off of the shaft, but the two parts of the Reeves drive seem to be coming apart. With a little more investigation, I found there's a couple of set screws down in here, just like on the Reeves drive from my J180. However, I didn't find them until I retracted the cone with the gear puller. And with those set screws loose, this appears to be coming off pretty easily now. Something else I discovered is this shaft that the Reeves drive fits onto is threaded into the sleeve. Wow, if I had figured that out earlier, it would have made removing the Reeves drive a whole hell of a lot easier. I have this gear puller every bit as tight as I feel comfortable making it without breaking something. And it is not moving. It can always be a little scary to look in the junction box. Main concern is the condition of the leads. It looks like the motor leads are cloth. I guess it's an okay shape. I'm not sure what the deal is with all these tie wraps. And that right there, that is the incoming power lead. It is totally bare of insulation. Well, I've been vacuuming all kinds of stuff out of this motor, and now all this stuff just fell out of a vent when I turned it on its side. So there was a rat's nest or a mouse nest in here. I don't think I have it all cleaned out, but I'm comfortable that all that racket from the motor was just mud dauber nests and mice nests. Let's see what we have for readings on the windings. So 6.2, 6.1, 6.1, 6.1. But they're pretty consistent. I don't know what they're supposed to be, but they're all about 6.1. Okay, so I got it wired up to my motor starter on my planer, and I'm gonna put some grease in the bearings. I'm not sure how much to put in. Well, there's a little vent right there where it's coming out. Okay, I'm reasonably comfortable with all the mud dauber nests and mice nests getting out of here. So I'm going to try to spin it up. Well, that was pretty uneventful. So this is an 850 RPM motor, and you can tell it's slower than most motors. So that's good to know that it's working. So there it is running. I was curious what kind of amperage we're drawing. So we're drawing 4 amps. Something else about this motor is there is like no play in the shaft. There's no play axially or radially. So however old it is, it's got some pretty tight bearings still. Well, now that I know that the drive motor is working, I'm going to set it aside along with the Reeves drive until we need to work on them later. There's a chance I may still disassemble that motor and clean it out. You know, I may replace these leads if it comes down to it. The rubber on this, the insulation is in good shape, but it is aged.